Welcome to the Affluent Buyer Script, your guide to engaging affluent buyers for your luxury outdoor home product and service business. Here's your host, Katy Doss.
Welcome back to the Affluent Buyer Script podcast, your go-to source for insights on attracting buyers for your outdoor product or service business. I'm your host, Katy Doss of Script Marketing, and every week I bring you insights into reaching your ideal buyer with your product or service. Today, we're talking about something that gets asked all the time, and that is traditional media still worth it? Or is it basically the marketing equivalent of a fax machine? Nostalgic, but totally irrelevant. Some of it is very much alive and kicking, and some of it just needs to be quietly escorted to the retirement home. So today, we're going to do a rapid-fire breakdown of common traditional media types and rate them with a yay or nay, and why when it comes to getting your luxury product or service business in front of your ideal buyers. Okay, number one is newspaper ads. This is a nay with a very tiny asterisk. Look, unless you're in the Wall Street Journal or an ultra-local lifestyle insert that's like hand-delivered to gated communities, newspaper ads just aren't where affluent eyeballs are these days. And even if they are reading the newspaper, that's not where your business needs to be. Eager newspaper sales reps, God love them, will try to sell you on packages for special sections that may be kind of adjacent to your business. They'll do a spring insert, that kind of thing. But the money that you're going to spend on that will go much further when you apply it to other media. Most of your buyers are getting their news from digital sources. They're not flipping through section B of your local paper to stumble upon your ad for, luxury pergolas. So you can move along. We love newspapers. They've done well for us, but for these outdoor product and service businesses, this is not where you need to be. Number two is magazine ads. This is a yay, but only if it's the right fit. So magazines still definitely have clout, especially those aspirational, really design-forward ones. And most are available digitally now. If you've got an Apple Plus subscription, I sit there and I read all the magazines on that. So I'm talking about the magazines like Architectural Digest, Veranda, Garden & Gun on a national level, or like a high-end regional magazine like Aspire or Atlanta Homes and Lifestyles, those kinds of things. Even in our community, over here in Auburn, Alabama, we have a really high-end magazine, East Alabama Living. It has a long shelf life. And every now and then, very high-end neighborhoods or areas will have what I call those mini magazines. They're usually 20 pages or so. You get them, you don't subscribe to them, they just come in the mail. We have those here. That's not really where you need to be. I'm talking about more of the higher-end magazines. Affluent buyers love beauty. They love design. And they love to see their lifestyles reflected in these glossy spreads. So if the magazine's targeting is right, it can be a really good spend. But here's the caveat. If your ad looks like a coupon insert from a discount furniture store, you're doing it wrong. A magazine ad is where luxury branding has to shine, with really stunning photography, minimal text, and an aspirational hook. Your ad shouldn't feel like an ad. It should feel like a feature someone should be interested in. In fact, your goal should be for the magazine to have to put the word advertisement at the very top in small letters. Okay, number three is direct mail, and this is a yay big time. If you have listened to this podcast at all, we love direct mail. Direct mail sometimes surprises people when I recommend it, but here's why it works. Affluent homeowners respond really well to high-quality print pieces that land directly in their mailbox. We're talking thick, tactile paper, luxe finishes, copy that is really sophisticated. If your direct mail piece feels expensive, it sends that message, we're not for everybody, but if you're looking for the best, you found us. And bonus points, of course, for including a QR code or a personalized URL with a UTM link. Bringing direct mail into the 2020s is a fantastic use of your marketing dollars. Go back and listen to the episode about printing, and I go into a lot of depth about this. We love direct mail. Really, it's the best of the traditional media. Okay, number four is billboards. That's a nay-ish, unless it's hyper-local and really, really, really well placed. So generally, billboards are like yelling into the void. They're great for restaurants and those types of like really quick decision businesses. So more often than not, they're a no for companies like you. If you're in the outdoor product and service space, which I don't know why you'd be listening to this podcast if you're not, this is not a great spend for you. In fact, we recently did an episode on using your box trucks as rolling billboards, and that is a much better long-term spend. Obviously, getting a truck wrapped can be a big investment, and we know that, but you're going to have that much longer than the, 60 or 90 days that you get your billboard for. However, here is the ish on my nay-ish. If you're in a smaller market and you can snag a billboard, preferably a digital one, very close to an affluent neighborhood or near like a country club, billboards can be a maybe. Don't expect people to call you from the billboard, though. Billboards are really just brand awareness. So the design and message better be gorgeous and memorable. If you do decide to do a billboard, there is a very specific method to the madness. The photo has to be decipherable from far away. And this is where people mess up with billboards a lot. They get a beautiful photo that, sitting there looking at it on your computer screen looks great. It doesn't always translate to a billboard. And you need one short tagline in a huge font. If you're going to go the billboard route, typically the people at the billboard company can help you determine some of those things to do. Maybe we'll do an episode on billboards, but in general, billboards are a nay. Okay, number 5 is radio ads. Big nay. Yes, you may be tuning in to an actual FM station for a local sporting event. We do that around here. Radio is just not the place to put your ad dollars when you're trying to attract high-end clients, especially for something as visual as outdoor products and services. Much like newspapers, radio ad salespeople are going to try to sell you on really inventive packages and tell you about tons of listeners and all this. But the reality is that music streaming services have made radio ads a terrible spin for everything except a small subset of local businesses. Again, restaurants, have at it. Go for it. Outdoor product and service businesses, not so much. I will say, though, that if you have an opportunity to sponsor a podcast where your ideal clients are listening, that could be a good spin. So a podcast is sort of radio adjacent. Maybe there's a business podcast that's local to your community where business owners are tuning in each week. If it's something super, super, super narrow like that, that may work. Just make sure you're using storytelling to capture the audience's attention. So that's the new radio ad. But in general, radio ads on FM and certainly AM, that's an A. Okay, number 6 is TV commercials. You know what I'm going to say here. That's an A. Local TV ads are expensive, broad, and they are not at all targeted. It's like fishing with a net when what you need is a fly rod. Nowadays, which frankly is a word that makes me sound really, really old, TV stations are going to try to hook you by giving you the commercial shoot and the production for free, which can feel like a good deal, but really you are better off elsewhere. If you want to run a video ad, do it on YouTube. YouTube ads are affordable, they're targeted, you can tell it exactly who you want to see your ad. So, nay to TV commercials. Number 7, though, is event sponsorships, and this is a big yay. I'm talking about things like golf tournaments, home tours, garden parties, master gardener events, those kinds of things. This can really be your jam. You get FaceTime with affluent buyers in their natural habitat. They're relaxed. It's a social setting. They may be open to new ideas. And being a visible presence at the right events really positions your business as part of that lifestyle. Plus, the bonus is that you can often get the email lists of the attendees. You get photos for social media. You get other benefits when you sponsor events. So don't overlook high-level sponsorships at key events. We like to tell our clients to choose one event per year where they can be a title sponsor or another really high-up sponsor that gives them face time with the right people who may buy from them. And remember, if it's a really big event, they're going to have a program, you're going to have ad space. A lot of people will keep those programs. So sponsoring events can be a really big spend, but it is worth it. Number 8 is catalogs and lookbooks, and these are a yay if they're done right. This is where storytelling and really beautiful visuals translate to marketing magic. A high-end catalog or lookbook, if you're a service business, can even be more powerful than a website visit because it lives in their home. If it's something they leave kind of hanging around the kitchen or living room for a while, that's a huge win. In fact, we have a direct mail piece that's been sitting on our kitchen island, I'm embarrassed to say, for like 4 weeks because it's something that we want to buy and I'm saving it there because it's really pretty and it's got to be the right time, but it's sitting there. That is magic, especially if it's a big catalog or if it's a lookbook. And a lookbook, we do these for our clients a lot. A lookbook can be just a standard 8.5 by 11, 4-page, like fold-over mailer. They're not expensive, but it gives it a little more heft than like a postcard. It's a great use of your marketing dollars. Pair them, of course, with your digital aspects, with your QR codes, with your UTM links, and you've combined your traditional media with your digital media. Okay, number 9 is trade publications. These are a yay for those of you with referral-based models. So if part of your sales strategy is getting spec'd into a job by these gatekeepers, like landscape architects, interior designers, those kinds of people, advertising in key trade publications can be a great play. So I'm talking about, architectural trade publications, building trade publications, interior designing trade publications. So this is especially important if you've got an outdoor product or service. We do this for our shutter client all the time, and it really makes a big impact. Trade publications are still very much alive and well. And if your product is gorgeous, if you can have a really visually stunning ad and it makes these tradespeople look good, you're in. Okay, our last traditional media spend that we are giving a yay or nay to, number 10, high school yearbook ads. You ready? I'm giving it a yay. Full disclosure, this is coming from a former yearbook editor. Are you going to get a 6-figure client based on your ad in the back of the Auburn High School Tiger? No. But look, it's a goodwill gesture. It supports a group of kids who have worked really hard, and it typically costs very, very little. The same thing applies when you've got football programs, band recital programs, that kind of thing. Put your ad in those, support the kids. I'm going with a yay with this one. It's just a goodwill gesture. And hey, they've got parents. They're looking at these ads during the games, they're looking at the yearbook. So you never know. It's worth that very small cost. So those are my 10 traditional media platforms and whether I give them a yay or nay in 2025 on whether or not you should be spending your marketing dollars there. So what's the big takeaway? Traditional media isn't dead, but just like any marketing tool, you've got to use the right one for the right job. And if you're targeting affluent homeowners, the standard shotgun approach will not work. You need media that reflects the lifestyle you're selling, media that's elegant, thoughtful, and beautifully designed. So as you divvy up your marketing budget, I really hope this helps you make wise decisions and get the best bang for your buck. That's a wrap for today. I'm your host, Katy Doss of Script Marketing, where we help luxury outdoor product and service businesses connect with and sell to affluent homeowners. If you've got questions or ideas for a future show, we always want to hear those. Email info@scriptmarketingco.com. We'll see you next week for more actionable marketing tips from the Affluent Buyer Script podcast.
You've been listening to Script Marketing's Affluent Buyer Script podcast, your go-to source for engaging affluent buyers in the luxury outdoor home product and service industry. For more information, visit scriptpodcast.com.